Are you a travelpreneur who dreams of building a thriving business that gives you more time, financial freedom, and the flexibility to work from anywhere? Then you're in the right place, my friend. This is the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, and I've built multiple six-figure businesses while traveling the world, living life on my terms, and helping women entrepreneurs do the same. Whether you're a travel advisor, an online business owner, or someone looking to add more adventure and income to your life, this podcast is here to guide you. Each episode, I'll bring you business strategies that actually work, productivity hacks, branding and marketing expertise, and plenty of pixie dust fun to help you create a business that fuels your passion for both profits and travel. So if you're ready to scale your business, attract more leads, and build a brand that lets you work from anywhere in the world, let's dive in and create and own your magic together. Hello. Welcome back to the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I am super excited for our guest today. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're at, calling in from the world, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Hi. Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. I'm Samara Bortz. I am based in Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. And I am a business coach and mentor for women entrepreneurs. Clients typically come to me in the middle of a big pivot or when they're ready to rebuild their business to be more supportive of their well-being, their capacity, their bank accounts. And that's where I am and what I do.
A little bit of all the things. So how did you get to doing this? Because I'm assuming like little girl version of you wasn't like, I'm going to be a business coach when I grow up. So tell us a little bit about like the evolution of how you got here.
Totally. Yeah, that would be so funny. I mean, I don't know that. It'd be so interesting to know how many people. Yeah, exactly. Like who actually ends up, doing what they wanted to when they were little. But it's been a journey like that's of course been filled with my own pivots, which is one of the, reasons I feel like I am really well suited to support my clients is because of that lived experience. But my background is actually in music. Like that's what all my formal training is in.
I didn't know that.
I am. Yeah. And it's still a part of my life. And actually I wanted to be a musician as a kid. So that part has come into reality.
Yeah. You started that path.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So all my schooling is in music, and I built my first business about a decade ago with my then boyfriend, now husband. It was a local organization of community choirs. So we had started out with one choir, grew it into a full-blown arts organization of 6 different ensembles, 150 plus people. We were working teaching jobs at the time and were able to, quit those to take our business full time. It was lovely. It was great until COVID, which is like the least, singing is like the least COVID pandemic friendly activity around. And it like majorly impacted our business and our livelihood and like raised a lot of questions about the longevity of what we were doing essentially. Right. So we, pivoted, had some like life changes, moved cities in that time. And I also launched a design business. So I had been creating websites kind of just like on the side for friends, family, local nonprofits, of course, for our business, and really loved it. Loved the creativity of the work, that it was something that I could do during the day, which like complemented a lot of my work as a musician, which is like a lot of afternoons and evenings and things like that. So I took some courses and like launched this design business, and it grew very quickly. Yep. Again, like pandemic time when a lot of people were like shifting to needing an online home. So that was really lovely timing wise. And then as I got into working more and more with clients in design, the overwhelming feedback that I started to get was that like the website was amazing, the branding was beautiful, but what they enjoyed and found the most valuable was the work that we got to do on the strategic side of things. Like in the planning, for like the strategy for their actual site, for how they would be able to like market themselves effectively post-launch. And it kind of clued me into like, oh, not a lot of designers do this. Like not everybody has this approach that is really holistic and is not just like, here's a website, but is also saying, okay, now here's what you can do with this website to grow your business. So I started offering these like strategic containers, kind of structured as coaching and mentorship, separate from my design work, and really, leaned into that and started working a lot more with one-on-one clients, launched a group program. And then after having my first baby and returning to work after mat leave, realized that I didn't have the same capacity to sit down at my desk and, design a website for 12 hours in a day like I did before, because little kid postpartum life is very demanding on the schedule. So I have since closed my own personal design studio, and I'm fully doing coaching and mentorship, which was the work that I was really seeing, the deepest impact for my clients anyways. So that's the long and up and down and twisted and turning journey to where I am today.
Like the way, like if you had just told someone bits and pieces of it, it might not have made sense, but the way you like showed the shift and how everything, it just all kind of aligned like your path, which I love hearing that. That's why we always start with that on the podcast, because I like to see all the bits and pieces, because then again, it makes a lot of sense of how you got to what you're doing right now. Right. And I love that started specifically with the website design. So I just got a new website in November. So not that long ago, like 4 months-ish ago, because I left Kajabi, who I had been a Kajabi person for a really, really long time. And then just the cost, it didn't make sense. And I was kind of shifting away from doing coursework and stuff. So my friend talked me into really going back to a traditional WordPress site, also for like the advertising that could possibly come up. So anyway, long story short, he recommended his web designer. She's fabulous. The website looks beautiful. And as we were going through the process, I felt like that was that missing piece that you were talking about with that coaching and like pulling out like the why and really getting to know me. And there's still a lot of tweaks that I kind of want to make to the website, because while it's beautiful, I don't feel like it's fully me, if that makes sense. So I'm like, that's such an important piece. And I can definitely see how that could almost make or break your website, right? Like if it really feels like you, and like you said, what to do with it, like in the long run.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're totally right. Like, I think when you're working with someone to design your site, you have to be able to have that connection and rapport, for them to be able to either ask all the right questions, right, but also like even just like be able to intuitively sense like, oh, this is what Lindsay will love. This will really represent Lindsay. And like because otherwise it's exactly what you said of like, you're going to get to the end and have this beautiful site and like maybe not even feel 100% ready or excited to share it because it is still incomplete,
Sort of way.
So yeah, I think that sort of like very in-depth, strategic prep piece is totally crucial in order to create a site that strategically works well and gets in front of the right people, but that also you as the client feel really, really excited to share and put out there.
So your clients currently are you still specifically talking to women who are women entrepreneurs and they're like looking for those identity pieces and growing a business? Are you working with some people maybe who aren't entrepreneurs? What does your clientele look like currently?
Yeah, good question. So all of my clients are entrepreneurs. Most of them are solopreneurs or have a very small team that they work with. I work with a lot of designers or people in the kind of like creative service provider space, like copywriters, systems experts, in part because that's my background. But I also work with women who are other coaches, or in like the holistic or wellness spaces. I have a client right now who is like a pottery studio owner, but also does like workshops and like memberships and things like that. So it's really a whole variety. Yeah. I often say the term like creative entrepreneur, but then sometimes people are like, oh, I'm not particularly creative. But I think as entrepreneurs, we're all creating something, whether that is offers, services, content to sell ourselves. So that's kind of the like catch-all umbrella term that I use.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious, because you're working with these people in such different industries, because I did that for a really long time in my coaching as well. But there were still themes that I found coming up in a lot of our conversations. Do you see the same thing? And maybe what are some of the themes or the commonalities that you're seeing currently right now going on with people you're working with, or maybe even people you're not working with yet, but that you're seeing women entrepreneurs facing?
Yeah. Yes, there's lots of commonalities even across different industries and types of work. I think a really big one that's like super present right now is feeling a sort of collective burnout or desire to be more offline, but still effectively growing their businesses.
Yeah.
That's super specific. Like I've had so many conversations this week and lately about the burnout around Instagram and looking for other ways to sustainably show up and grow. But maybe the sort of broader topic there is how to effectively market your business in a way that actually suits your energy and capacity and the way that you like to show up. So that's a big piece of work I do with all of my businesses, with all of my clients, whether they're in a pivot or not, and like their offers are working well, the clients are rolling in, but they're feeling some stickiness around wanting to like find the joy and the fun in marketing and talking about their business again.
Yeah.
So that's a common theme that I've totally seen lately.
Well, let's just dive into that one. I hear the same thing.
Yeah.
With my marketing membership. So I'm curious. I'm trying to think because I don't, well, I guess I will. I'll use myself as an example. I don't love Instagram. I won't lie. It is the platform that like I click on the least when I'm on, my phone. I really tend to hang out on Facebook. Recently, more so, I hang out on TikTok, but I don't produce content for TikTok. And I don't know, Instagram for me has never really, like I've not gotten the engagement. So if I were your client, just curious, just using me as an example, what are some things that you would either walk me through, or maybe some questions you would ask me around like the burnout with Instagram / like, do I even want to be using that? Let's just use that for example.
Okay.
Not to put
sorry,
you on the spot.
I think no. The recording or the connection like froze partway through that. No. So I got the second half of your question. Like what are the things that I would walk you, but I missed what you were saying.
Oh, so I don't
in the beginning. Yeah.
I don't love Instagram. It's like my least favorite platform, and I feel like my engagement is the lowest over there. But then I hear people in the industry, well, people, your ideal client is over on Instagram. You have to be posting and showing up there. So I'm just curious what you would walk me through, potentially as like someone you were working with dealing with that.
Okay. Great question.
Because I hear that one. That one's a big one. I feel like, especially around Instagram, that I've been hearing lately is the lack of engagement and, people not loving it as much anymore and competing with TikTok. And, so like, how do we even go about combating that as an entrepreneur?
I would say, why do you need to combat that? If like, especially in your case, if that's where the engagement is lowest, that's what you're clicking on the least.
Yep.
Is that a platform you need to be on?
Right.
Why? That's where I would start.
Okay. So then what if I was like, well, because I already have a following over there, so I don't just want to ghost them, but I also feel like they're not engaged anyway. So do we even care? I don't know.
Exactly. Do we even care? What and what would that energy cost you that you'd be putting in to try to find your foot in Instagram? Is it ever something you're going to want to prioritize, do well, do effectively? Like I know you have a huge Facebook community. That's something that has worked really well for you. I'd be saying, well, how can we leverage that more strategically?
Yeah.
What are how do you like to create content? What are the things that you're going to reach for naturally? Like, is it you really love long form writing, you know, so, or you love speaking and presenting, then, you know, should we be looking for more opportunities to collaborate, host more events, do summits, things like that? Like, I think starting from releasing these shoulds around like this works for someone else, so I should try to make the strategy force it and like make it work for me, seems basic and high level, but it's like step one. Like if you're exhausted by Instagram, it's not working for you and it's not something you want to be doing, there's always another way to make it work, and always another place to find your people.
That goes so nicely too with that lead generation quiz that I know I talked about on your podcast, because there are a whole group of people that aren't social media people, but yet we're trying to fit ourselves into a box. Like mine is live events, like you were mentioning, the summits, and I love speaking and podcasting. And it's like into those, and you could have a social media presence, but it doesn't have to be like their main thing. And you don't have to be doing the stuff that you don't love doing.
Absolutely. If you don't love doing it, you're not going to do it. I mean, you could look at like, could I pay someone to do this and outsource that, or prioritize getting support in that way, which for some business owners is a great solution. Right. But I think if it's something that's going to be on your plate, occupying mental space, occupying energy, you really want to connect with the things that you're actually going to look forward to doing and like double down on that, you know?
So I'm curious, your women with who are liking the long form content creation, they're pouring a lot into their website, into their blogs. Do you have any tips for them in 2026, especially with, you know, I feel like we're in this constant battle of fighting with AI and with SEO and showing up nowadays. Anything, and maybe you've seen this personally with some clients, or maybe, you know, this is something that will come up, but like, what are some strategies maybe around like, if this is what your passion is, this is how you can really hone into it?
Yeah. I think part of it is like finding the platform that feels the most fun, regulating, exciting for you. So for example, I have a client who loves writing, loves long form, highly introverted, highly sensitive, beautifully gifted at what she does, but like Instagram's overwhelming, doesn't want to be pitching herself for like live speaking, like this kind of thing would feel stressful, you know, but has completely found her home in Substack, like in this platform that is geared towards writers, that has like so much potential through an algorithm to get new eyes on her work. She's grown it organically. I don't know how many from scratch, like in the last couple of months, from like 0 to like 300 people in this community, you know, just by really like showing up, participating, engaging with other long form writing, pouring into her own work, strategically then like sending people to her website. So in this case, she's figured out like, okay, this sort of like gentle, introverted, long form content creation is how I like to show up. And she's like fully gone all in on the platform that's going to support that, you know? And that's working really beautifully for her for right now, for like making those connections, collaborations, getting new leads. I would say kind of like in 2026, in a time where there's a lot of talk about like moving away from social media, that anything you can do to optimize the content that you do own yourself is really important as well. So a next step for this particular client, or anyone listening in that boat, could be, you know, adding a blog, adding a content hub to your site, looking at things like Pinterest, optimization through search, all those things to like get new traffic, growing an email list, like those things that are really yours and that you can own. So Substack is just, you know, one example of that that's worked really well for her.
I always forget about Substack. I have heard a lot of people talking about it. I don't even have an account yet. I'm really embarrassed to say. Are you on Substack? Just curious.
Yeah. I've been there for a year and a half or so. I love it too. For some of the same reasons I mentioned with my client, but it feels like a very personal platform. So it's nice that I think there's like, for me, I'm finding a lot more permission to be able to write like the more raw, tender, personal stories there, in addition to the kind of like, quote unquote, businessy content that I'm often sharing in other places. So you should totally check it out. It's really,
check it out. Like mental
a really lovely space.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that you're the first guest to mention it too on the show. So there we go. There's
no way. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I haven't, like I said, I've seen people mentioning it more and more in email lists. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I have too many, what's the phrase? Pots in the fire, kettles in the fire, or whatever. And I don't have the capacity right now to like do one more thing. However, that does sound really enticing, especially if I were to not spend the energy, on the Instagram. Maybe I have a little bit of time to come and check out the Substack. So I love that. Love that tip.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you built your first business or multiple businesses while you were still working full time?
I built my first business with my husband, our like in-person organization of choirs, while working full time as a teacher.
As well, which I'm like,
as a teacher.
Absolutely love that. That's how we like meshed and connected. So what are some tips? So I'm going to have you like think back to that time, because a lot of our listeners a lot of them actually are teachers, but are either still having some sort of a full-time job while building up the business that they really want to either replace the full-time job, or every once in a while people don't want to, they want to be able to do both for a variety of different reasons. But you mentioned that you're helping people not get burnout, and you're helping people with this through this pivot. Are there any tips that you have for, let's just keep it like relevant, like in 2026, I know it's going to date this episode, but for the woman in 2026 who's trying to juggle all of the things, what are some things that helped you, if you can think back, do that same thing as you were like slowly building up your business? I mean, and then you said you had a baby during this time. So like, what are some things that you can walk us through that really helped you?
Yeah. It's so funny. I'm going to think about 2026, but then also think about 2016, because this is when it happened. And it makes me think of that trend. Have you seen that on TikTok of all the like, 2016 versus 2026? So funny. So
there we go. Maybe I'll do that for this episode in some sort of way to promote it.
Totally. It feels topical.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So I'm going to put myself in that. Where was my head at, and what are the things that would still apply today? Because of course, a
lot of it will,
the online business world or like the ways you can market yourself have drastically shifted in 10 years. But I think the advice I'd give, or something that would stay the same, is being able to create as much safety for yourself ahead of time before leaving the day job. And like specifically financially. Okay. There was a period of time where the burning the candle at both ends, where I would be at the school. I was only working 4 days a week. But you're at the school from 7:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. or whatever. And then I was in rehearsals conducting 4 days a week from 5 till 10 p.m. And there was a period where that was worth it. Yeah. That was worth it. I had no kids. I had a lot more freedom, didn't have a dog. Like it was possible because of the financial reward of that, where like when then my husband and I both quit our teaching jobs and were like full blown entrepreneurship. This is it. When we were able to take that leap, it didn't feel like now this business has to work immediately or we will be
frantic,
stressed out, completely dysregulated, all the things. Right. Yeah. So that's a conversation I have with a lot of clients who are in the early stages of building their businesses now, when I'm coaching them, is like, what can you do to create this sort of safety for yourself, this safety net, this ability to go into your business without the pressure to have it fully replace your income immediately, or need to constantly sign new clients? Because I work with a lot of service providers. Because the truth is, in the early days, sometimes there is that little bit of like, like unpredictability of income or up and down with figuring out your marketing rhythm and what does bring in those leads and clients and all those things. And I think the more that you can help yourself to stay calm, grounded, regulated, the better. And like, the truth is, like, when you have that financial safety and stability in that time, it's just that much easier. So I think the check-in, if you're in that full-time teaching position and like, I don't want to be burnt out, I don't want to be exhausted, but also it's like, kind of like could working extra hard, really like putting in extra hours at this point in time, allow you to build up that safety and then that ability to quit your job without as much stress.
I love
does that kind of make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. And I worked with some coaches in the past, wonderful, wonderful people, love them. And their messaging was like the opposite, like quit the job and figure it out. I just know for me, like, that's not happening, girlfriend. Like, I don't care what you tell me. Like, they're like, yeah, but when you have the pressure, because they were viewing it as when you have the pressure and the stress on yourself, then you're going to make it work, versus right now you're comfortable and you don't have any financial like reason that you have to. Like, it's not like you're not going to be able to eat if your business doesn't grow because you're getting a paycheck from your full-time job, which makes sense also. However, I just know me, and I'm like, that's not me. Like, that's not happening.
No, I often kind of like call that out as like, this is an approach that this is a belief I hold that's different from a lot of what other coaches would say, which is exactly what you said. And, and maybe for some people that pressure, that healthy, like they can find that healthy balance of pressure, and maybe that does work, but that's not what I witness in most of my clients. I also think you want to go into your business being able to make decisions that are thoughtful and like
not out of scarcity.
Be able to not out of scarcity or not out of like, this has to work now because I have to pay my rent or whatever the thing is, right? Like, a lot of my clients want to be able to choose to work with their ideal clients and not just have to take any gig that comes their way. And like, if there is that like real financial pressure for it to work, then you're sort of in that position of having to make sacrifices and choices. So, so I totally hear you. I've seen that opposite advice as well. And maybe it works for some, but it certainly doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah. I'm the same way. That's why I'm like, we have so much in common. I'm curious, do you have a set income number or percentage or like 6 months of your expenses? Because I've heard a few different numbers like thrown around that you specifically recommend or that you did yourself when you were like, okay, this is enough that I can, cut the cord and go all in.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really depends on like the sort of like personal state of your finances and like, are you, providing for your family on your own, or is this something where you're in it with a partnership? So I think having, that sort of like months of emergency fund set aside, maybe that's 3, 4, like whatever will differ from person to person. For us, it was, we could have taken the leap sooner. We felt comfortable doing it when we were able to see that the revenue from the business had fully replaced our teaching salaries. And because of the way that like our business, it's hard to explain, but like it runs seasonally, just like a school year calendar. The timing just worked out where we were able to be like, oh, we don't need to be teaching in order to be making the same amount or more money just from the business. So it was conservative and it probably could have happened sooner, but that was just how it timed out. So
that's perfect. That worked out nicely in your favor then.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You both took the leap at the same time then.
Oh,
you guys were like, we're doing this. Like, this is the thing. It is happening.
Yep.
I love it.
All in. Like I said, no kids a decade ago.
Well, and like my coaches also made the good point is like, you can always go back and find another job.
Totally.
Needed, which I think is a really important reminder, especially for people I'm going to say our age, I think we're probably around the same-ish age, where I feel like our generation, and you can correct me if this is not, but I feel like almost we grew up, or at least my family, we grew up and it's like you work the 9 to 5 and you stay working there for 40 years until you retire, right? Like, and that's the thing. And I almost feel like our generation is like in between that generation and what I see happening now with younger people than me, where it's like, I'm jumping jobs and I'm finding out what I really enjoy doing. And like, I don't feel like I have to stay in one space. And we're like, kind of like that messy in between of like, we want to be like this, but we want to be more conservative like this too. I don't know if that makes more sense, but that's kind of how I feel, like that pull and tug of like what society and what I grew up with versus like what I'm actually drawn to now. Do you see that as well?
Yeah. I totally see that. Like, I mean, we're all such products of like the conditioning and the stories that we grew up with. And I think that's a really common one, right? Like, and the truth was the career trajectory for our parents' generation looks so different. And obviously, like, because of technology and because of like how quickly all that's developing, it will look really different, like, for us, but even for like the generation younger than us. So yeah, I do see that. And I think it often comes up with clients in scenarios around money in particular, right? These sorts of stories of like, oh, I inherited this belief that like, I have to work super, super, super hard in order to make a good living. And anyhow, I think those like little sort of things that we carry as limiting beliefs or fears that we need to work through as entrepreneurs are often inherited stories that aren't even necessarily our own.
Right. 100%. Yeah. And what you shared too about like the income in your business not always being, or not necessarily in your business, but you see this a lot in beginners, of not always being predictable. We see a lot as travel agents because we don't get paid until commission runs, right? So if we're traveling a lot, spring break, summer, Christmas, then it's like, we got to find ways to either find clients for those gap times or be really good about our money to stretch it to make it last throughout the year. So that's another, challenge or thing that I see with travel agents when they're going from part-time to full-time is like being able to manage that cash flow in a way that makes sense for their business. I'm curious, besides money, is there anything else that you would recommend or a tip you would give to someone who is trying to go from the side hustle to the full-time hustle? Is there anything else maybe that comes up besides the financial piece, or anything that you're like, this is one thing that really helped me was when I was able to do X, Y, Z?
Yeah. I mean, this is one that you touched on a moment ago, but I think is also really helpful, is this idea of like, kind of like this, like, what is the worst case scenario and what could the backup plan be? Just in feeling, again, that safety to jump in and make that leap. I also think that a really good one going into, taking something that's like side gig and then making it full time is to know off the bat, like, what are your own strengths and like, what do you do really well in your work? And then what are gaps that you need support filling, whether that's like a specific skill set, like, okay, I know that I need to get better at writing copy because a lot of my marketing is going to be emails or content creation, or I need a website page, and I'm going to just like invest a little bit of time, energy, and resources into taking a course to develop this skill.
Yeah.
Or, I'm thinking of taking my business full time, but it's not full time yet. So I still have this teaching salary or, salary from whatever. And I'm going to take some of that money and put it towards a VA who can help me like begin to start showing up in these different marketing ways or these platforms so I can grow an online presence or community before, leaving my business or leaving my job and doing that full time. So I would be looking at like, okay, what are my strengths? And then like, where are there places where I could invest in support or invest in some learning to like fill a skill gap or fill a need so that you're not just starting from, I don't think anyone would leap starting from square one. That's not the right way to say it. So that you are as well resourced as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're well-rounded.
And the clients are already coming in. You already have an audience growing by the time you are quitting your job to take your business full time.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, this made me think of something off this side.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Do you have virtual assistants? Do you have anyone in your business helping you, or is it just you and husband tag teaming?
So right now in my coaching business, like in my business that I run online, it's just me. That's so funny that you're asking that though, because I'm literally have calls booked this weekend next to look at hiring a VA. Yay. I'm about to go on a mat leave in April. We're having our second baby in a few months. So thank you. And I'm recognizing, just like the need for some logistic support when I am, in like full baby mode for a couple months. So, right now, no one looking to hire, but in the past I've worked with a VA, when I was like running a design studio and beginning to launch coaching, and it was just like a particularly busy time. And she was wonderful. It was so helpful. Nice. She did a lot with like content creation and repurposing. She was sort of more on the creative side and was able to support me like in actual design work for clients too, which was great. So, I forget what your question was now. Was it just, do I have a VA?
Helping, like if it was just, if husband, if VA, like what that looks like, because that's another thing that I hear a lot is, I wish I would have hired someone sooner. Or, when we're talking about the overwhelm piece, and in the back of my mind, I know it can be scary for people to make that hire. But once you do, especially if it's someone who's really aligned, and it might take a few times, I think that is a piece too that has helped me. I don't want to say beat. I don't know. I feel like we keep saying overwhelm, but beat the overwhelm / open up our mind and our energy for other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which,
absolutely.
Yeah. In the past, just not currently.
Yes. Yeah. And like with, the conversation I have a lot with clients who are looking to hire, when they have this fear of like, am I ready to bring someone on? Like, is this going to be a financial obligation? Is like, there are so many VAs out there who offer like super flexible kind of like low commitment, a few hours a month sort of thing. And like sometimes 5 hours a month can give you a lot of that mental space back to be actually doing the like deep thinking, creative, resting work, whatever that is, that will help you be more productive. So I think that's a really important thing to remember for anyone thinking about bringing on support is like, it doesn't have to be a massive commitment. It can be, and even just like a small amount of help can make a really big world of a difference in opening up more mental space.
I agree 100%. Yeah. Well, I'm sending you good vibes that you find someone that totally meshes and jives with you to help make your mat leave even easier for you. Because yes, girl, it is time. It is time.
Thanks, Lindsay. I appreciate it.
So before you tell us about your membership, actually, I want to hear. Well, I don't want to hear. I'm going to ask you a couple rapid fire questions that I always ask.
Oh gosh.
No pressure. No pressure. They're fun-ish.
Okay.
First one is, do you have a morning routine, a nighttime routine, neither, both? What's that look like for you?
Yes, I have both.
Okay. I felt like you might.
I'm a big like morning rituals person. It's not always ideal in this season where I do have a 2-year-old who like wakes up at unpredictable times, but we go for like, what is it? Like done is better than perfect, like in terms of these routines. So, in the morning, I like to wake up and make my coffee and do morning pages. Like I do like 3 pages of just like brain dump, free write, journaling. I think of like getting all the crap, all the junk out of my head and like centering into my thoughts, then I'll usually go from there into like an actual like writing practice, like something, if I'm writing something for Substack or emails, I like to sort of like do that kind of deeper creative work right after. So that's how I start my day. I mean, I also really love meditation and breath work. So sometimes if I have time and my kid is not awake yet, I'll do like a quick little short and sweet practice first before getting him out of bed. And then at the end of the day, I mean, I conduct a choir one night a week and I sing in one a different night. So on those evenings, it's kind of just like late rehearsals and then bedtime. But on other days, I like to take a bath and do sort of like an end of the day, just like journal, like if there was like interesting client conversations or something that happened or something cute that my kid said, kind of like document that. And do a little reading of usually something like a novel before bed.
Okay. You're heavy on the writing then.
I love to write. Yeah.
Do you ever script? Just curious, side question. Like script,
like
in a year from now. So you'll say, date it February 17th, 2027 and speak as though it's like present tense.
I haven't done much of that. I'll do like I always have, I have like in my morning journaling after the like sort of free write pages, I'll do like 3 things I'm grateful for. And then I have like sort of like manifestation, like what I'm calling in kind of thing. But I don't do it in that like specific dated scripting way. That's cool. Okay. Is that one of your practices?
I don't do it regularly, but a lot of the communities that I've been in the past few years, like that's one of their manifestation techniques is the scripting. So it'll be like, I'm so grateful that this happened last week. I'm waking up and this is where I'm at. And it's stuff that you like want to call in, but it's not necessarily here yet. And I've heard a lot of people get some really good success from it. So that's why I was just curious, since you write so much, if that was already woven in there or if you weren't familiar with it yet. So there you go. Maybe you can try it out. See what happens.
No, I love that. I mean, like the subconscious mind doesn't always know the difference between like, this is something I am desiring versus like, this is the actual reality. So that's like such a brilliant way to be, just like training your brain to believe that's like, that's what's coming for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you mentioned reading. So, okay, I'm going to ask you what your favorite or what you're currently reading in the business/personal development side, but then I want to hear like novel wise, what you're reading as well.
Okay. So I am reading, what am I reading? And the personal development.
Or it can be your favorite book.
I finished.
Favorite. We'd love to hear a good favorite too.
Oh my gosh. Have you read Playing Big by Tara Moore?
I don't think so. No,
Tara Moore.
That.
Oh, she's brilliant. She's a coach, like one of the like OG coaches based in California, I think. Anyways, it's a lovely book. It's sort of like outlining her method. She teaches it as a course as well, but it's this whole concept of like helping women to like dream bigger and effectively play bigger and like sort of take action towards the things that they want to become their reality in life. So it's great. I recommend it to everyone.
Okay. All right. Gonna go get that next. Okay.
Go get that. Yeah. And then novels, what am I reading? So I just read Isola, which is like a historical fiction book it's like set in the 15th century. A friend gave it to me. It's like about it's a real story adapted into a novel about this like woman who ends up going on a ship with like the early explorers who like went from Europe to the New World, which is like the States and Canada. And she gets like marooned and survives. It's crazy. So if you like historical fiction,
I do. I
Isola
love historical fiction. Okay. Is that Azola? Isola?
Isola. Isola. Like Italian for island or.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Note to self. Now I got two good That's why I love asking these questions. Like every once in a while, someone will say something about their daily routine and they're like, oh, I use XYZ. And I'm like, okay, now I need to go get that. And then I'm like, okay, books. Yes. This is like all my, like my ways to get things out of people. So I get some good recs.
That's awesome.
And then last question, because we can't get off here without some travel things, is I would love to hear either your favorite trip destination you've ever been on or what's on your bucket list or both.
Ooh, okay. They can be the same answer. My husband and I went on our honeymoon to Italy, and I would love to go back.
Okay.
He's going back in a month and a bit on taking our youth choir on a tour there. And I'm very sad that I'm not going. Well, I will be just so pregnant. It's not even possible. But that was such a dreamy trip. And we're big foodies. We love to eat and explore. So
good. But it will not you can also take comfort in knowing that his experience with the youth choir is not going to be anything like it would be if it was two of you at all.
You don't think 35 teenagers don't sound relaxing to you?
No. I think we talked about this actually, didn't I, when I was on your show?
I think we did.
Yeah. We did. Yeah. I'm just curious, is there a certain city in Italy or a certain region or just like anywhere Italy, get me back there?
Yeah, I mean, I love like the ocean and the beach, kind of like slow, small town beach vibes. So we spent a week, 10 days on the Amalfi Coast was one of our destinations, and we stayed in a small town called Minori, which is really cool because it was like near some of those more like bigger destinations like Positano and Amalfi, but it's like much quieter and anyhow, so I would love to go back and explore more of the coast.
Okay. Very cool. Very fun. Yeah. We went to the Amalfi Coast and we were in Naples and Pompeii, but it was just like 2 days. So we didn't get a chance to do like the beach or anything, but I would definitely love to. That sounds like definitely my vibe, like small town beach with access to bigger stuff if you want it, but if you don't, fine too. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
all right,
dreamy.
Samara, tell us all the ways that people can work with you. Where can they find you to connect? Where can they find your Substack? And I will also put all of this in the show notes as well.
Yeah. Yep. So I am Samara Bortz basically everywhere. You can find the Substack publications called The Heart Behind It. And the best way to work with me right now, if you're listening to this, and I should have asked you, Lindsay, when this will be live, but if you're listening to this before mid-April, then the best way to work with me would be to reach out to work together for an intensive one-to-one. So we can, of course, jump into a longer container, but most clients like to kind of test the waters, come with a specific roadblock around their business model or marketing. And we work through it in like 3 days together and give you an action plan that you can go implement right away. So that's the best way. If you're listening to this, after April and I'm still on maternity leave and not taking new clients, then come hang out on the my Substack or podcast, or you can jump right into my self-paced curriculum called The Heart Method, which will be live and available for purchase when my website launches, relaunches, I should say, next month. And it's like, I call it my business in a nutshell. It's like roadmap for feel-good business growth from A to Z. So if you're in the phase of like still, working that full-time job and are looking to build something sustainably, it covers all the pieces from the visioning and the mindset work to the offer design and marketing, sales, messaging, launching, all the pieces in like a very step-by-step scaffolded way. So
love that.
Yeah, that will be available when my website launches next month.
And what's your website and your podcast real quick?
Oh yeah. My website is samarabortz.com. And my podcast is called the Lead with Heart podcast. And it's a mix of solo and guest episodes. Lindsay's episode will be live. I want to say it's like early March, and I'll let you know the date, Lindsay, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. And I'll try to coordinate this so it goes live around the same time so that our people can check each other out in a similar time frame while we're still fresh in people's minds too. All right.
That's perfect.
Thank you so much. I always love chatting with you and your energy and your vibe, and you have so much to share. So everyone make sure that you go over and check out everything that Samara has to offer. And I will talk to you so soon, friend. Thank you.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you're leaving today inspired, princess, to create, own, and spread your magic to the world. If you found value in this episode or know a girlfriend who needs to hear it, would you screenshot it and send it to her? And if you're feeling really generous, pop it up on your IG stories and tag me at Lindsay Dollinger so I can see you loved it and tell you thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's go do some amazing things. Bye-bye. Hey, fellow Disney lover, are you looking for magical, comfy fashion? Then you need to check out Bella Bling Shop. Bella Bling's size-inclusive line is perfect for park hopping, princess races, or just adding a bit of everyday magic into your life. Much of the artwork of this comfortable clothing line is hand-drawn, unique artwork. I know this because I watch my sister do it. Yes, this is my sister's shop, and she takes so much time and care into everything that she creates. Every single piece is special. So again, whether you are just getting excited, going to the parks, whether you're getting ready to run a race, or whether you just want to add a little bit of Disney fashion into your life, make sure you check out Bella Bling's adorable, comfortable styles. Visit www.bellablingshop.com. You know I'll put that in the show notes for you. And make sure you use code PODCAST, all capital letters, to get 10% off your first order. Tag me when you get it, and I want to see what you decide.